Hello yogis, let's take a look at Virabhadrasana 1 today. So Warrior 1. One of our beautiful poses that we regularly do in class, but I think there's been a lot of changes over the last few years of how we approach the safety, or more importantly, the anatomy of the pose. So this particular asana, we used to kind of start to shift the pelvis in ways that probably aren't really safe or long-term really healthy for the pelvis. So in the last couple of years, I've really been learning about the anatomy and how we can start to transition a little safer in our beautiful Warrior 1 so we have happy hips for a happy life. So we have to remember in yoga that it's really important to remind ourselves that we don't adapt the body to a pose, we adapt the pose to a body. And this is the perfect example of adapting the pose to your body versus the other way around. So I'm going to take you through, and I'd rather you watch. I'm going to show you how we used to teach this pose, and then I'm going to teach you how I now show everybody how to do this pose and how it makes a happy low back and a happy pelvis for life. So I'm going to come up to standing. Obviously the first one I do recommend watching, but on the second one when I teach you the correct alignment, I absolutely recommend jumping up and getting involved, because that's how we learn. We jump up, we do it physically, then we share it with others, and it locks in all of those wonderful learnings in our brain. So let's come up and have a look at Virabhadrasana 1. So there's two ways to approach Virabhadrasana 1, and of course we either do it from a standing or a Ardha Mukha Svanasana, so our downward facing dog. Today I'm going to demonstrate from the standing posture. So we would, in the old ways, how not to do the pose, this is how we would teach it. We would come from a standing posture and we would ask the person to step their right foot back. So nice big lunge, yes, we're coming from a lunge. We would ask them to place their back heel down. Fabulous, that's pretty good. But then from here, we would recommend that we're turning not just the chest, this beautiful upper body, but we're actually anchoring that right hip forward. So you notice now I'm starting to get a little stuck. As I try to twist, it's actually twisting the back of my knee. We're anchoring down. We're supposed to be anchoring down through this heel and twisting the hips forward and unfurling the arms. So now my heel is probably good 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter off the mat. There's tightness in my calf, especially where it attaches to the back of the knee. And I'm actually kind of forcing my way. It's kind of pinching through my upper right hip / low back, right side. And as I bring the arms in, I'm all kinds of stressed here. Everything is kind of tense, and we're tense from the ground up. And really, when we look at yoga, once we get to a pose, we should be able to breathe in and just kind of relax into it and enjoy the posture and enjoy the breath work that comes with that mild challenge. But this is really kind of pressing into my ankle, my knee, my back, all those joints. We're not here for joints, we're here to activate muscles. So here's the change, and this is the one you can practice with me. So once again, we're coming from our mountain pose. So we're nice and tall, happy campers. Let's step that right foot back. So again, lunge position. So this is how we started the last pose, but let's look at it a little bit differently. Let's line it up in a much more anatomy safer way. So back heel comes down, absolutely. Notice when I placed my back heel down, my hips turned out. That's the happy place, yes? So hips have turned out to the right corner of the mat. Now I've probably got more of an angle because I kind of slipped there. So when we place it down, the back foot has like a slight angle, but we don't say 90 degrees, we don't say on a right angle, anything like that. Just let the foot come down where your client or where you want it to be. Hips are coming out to the right corner of the mat. Now the back is designed to move. Look at this. This is the upper half of the back, middle back, upper back. Look at that beautiful twist. See this here through the pelvis low back, it's not really designed to be forced or twist, but the upper back has all this movement. Look at me twisting, yes? So I can actually start to exhale and turn my rib cage and up to the front of my mat. Look at that happy alignment. My front knee is in the perfect alignment, over ankle, slightly behind. You hear me say that a lot. I'm anchored down, my heel is still down, it's beautifully comfortable. I inhale, lengthen everything, unfurl, and then just kind of press down through the back heel whilst bending the front. Now there is no pressure. My calf is happy, back of knee, my ankles. Yes, I'm getting some sensation through the hips, but in that muscle strength building way. But I'm also connected to that, so I'm not forcing it. I'm like, okay, I'm aware. And the deeper we go, if that puts more pressure, you just kind of lengthen out. Just ease back a little bit, allow everything to light up. So now we've got this beautifully connected breath. It's hitting me where it should be hitting me, anchored down where it needs to anchor, and I'm able to breathe comfortably. And I can happily say I could stay here for days. So relaxing when we come out of the pose, of course, lift the back heel, turning and stepping up. So remember, when we're looking at our warrior one, it's about remembering that the lumbar spine and the pelvis aren't designed to kind of twist. They can rotate, but they're not designed like this beautiful movement I've got through the middle of my back. So Virabhadrasana 1, of course, any class you go to, let's set it up right. Let's make sure we have a lifetime of happy joints and strengthen our muscles when it needs to be and relax our muscles when we need to as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you again on the mat soon. Thank you, yogis.